Lena? Lena, listen up. Put down that super smart book for 1 second. You know how sometimes you look in your piggy bank and it's empty? Like dust bunnies and a lone crayon wrapper? And then other times it's just a little bit less empty but still not enough for that new Smartomatic 3000 science kit you keep bugging Marla about?
Yes, Dad, I understand the concept of having different amounts of money. What's your point?
Well, what if I told you there's a secret number, like a cheat code for life, that once you hit it, everything changes, and I mean everything. Not just being able to buy one science kit, but maybe like a whole science store, or at least enough buff beer to float a small canoe in our living room.
A cheat code? For money? Dad, that sounds like a scam Mr. Sterling Pierce would fall for, not something you'd come up with.
Hey, I'm smarter than I look, sometimes. The point is, most folks think you need a vault full of gold like Mr. Sterling Pierce himself to feel truly rich, or at least enough zeros in your bank account to make Ravi at Quick and Save faint. But no, Lena. There's a much smaller, secret amount. Hit this number, and suddenly, you're not just surviving on Quick and Save microwave burritos, although those are mighty tasty, you're thriving. It's the difference between pushing a giant boulder up a hill, all sweaty and grunting, making those weird noises like Brett does when he's trying to lift a marshmallow, and then watching it just roll down the other side, practically by itself. It's magical, Lena, truly magical.
So, what is this magical number, Dad? And how does it change everything?
Ah, the big reveal. Drum roll, please. Mumbling a drum roll sound effect? It's 20,000 buff bucks. Yep, $20,000. Not a million, not a gazillion, just 20,000. And trust me, once you have it, your brain starts doing acrobatics it never did before. You see, Lena, when your wallet's flatter than a pancake Marla accidentally sat on, your brain, it goes into what those fancy scientists call survival mode. It's like when Brett wants the last cookie and you know you have to get it first, or you'll just shrivel up and turn into a raisin.
Dad, we have plenty of cookies. And that's not survival mode, but I understand what you mean about immediate focus due to scarcity.
Details, details. The point is, your brain only thinks about now, now, now. Like, can I afford extra cheese on my buff burger? Or will Ravi let me pay for those donuts next week, even if I promise him a lifetime supply of my lint? You take any job, even if it's picking up drop snacks at Dusty's show, or tasting questionable concoctions at Joe's Tavern, just because you need the buff bucks. You can't be picky.
So, you're saying when you don't have a financial cushion, your brain is just focused on immediate needs, on avoiding financial disaster, rather than thinking about long-term growth or opportunity?
Exactly. It's like trying to plan a luxurious vacation to the Buff Beer Factory while your house is on fire. You can't think about fancy tours and free samples when you're busy putting out flames with your tongue. Your brain is too busy screaming danger donut deficit. But then, when you hit this magic 20,000 number, your brain, it gets a little vacation. It stops panicking. It starts thinking, hey, maybe I can afford 2 buff burgers. And maybe I can grow this money into enough for a whole barrel of buff beer. Maybe even a whole truckload.
So it's about shifting your mindset from merely, how do I survive until the next paycheck, to, how can I make this money work harder for me and grow it?
You got it, sweetie. It's like finding a secret compartment in your brain you didn't even know was there. And it makes all the difference. In Savingsdale, people might think you need like $2,000 for emergencies, which is fine, good even. It helps you get out of the immediate panic. But 20,000? That's when your brain gets a nice big comfy armchair and a newspaper, and starts thinking about real plans, like a strategic donut acquisition plan.
That makes sense. A larger buffer provides more psychological security, freeing up mental resources.
Right. Now remember that giant boulder I was talking about earlier? The one I was grunting and sweating over like Brett trying to finish his homework? Getting it started, that's the hardest part. All that pushing, barely moving it an inch, that's your first 20,000. It feels like forever, like waiting for Dusty to tell a new joke that's actually funny. Or trying to get a free sample from Ravi at Quick and Save when he's not looking.
So, the initial 20,000 is the hardest because you're doing all the work yourself, without much help from existing capital.
Precisely, Lena. But then, once you hit that top of the hill, once you've saved up 20 big ones, poof, or rather, whoosh, the boulder starts rolling faster. Your next 20,000? It comes way quicker. Because now you've got that first 20,000 helping push, like a whole team of little invisible helpers, all hopped up on buff beer pushing that boulder for you. You save 1,000 buff bucks a month, same as before, but your money is working with your money. It's beautiful, Lena. Just beautiful.
That's the principle of compound interest, Dad. Your existing money earns returns, and those returns then start earning their own returns, accelerating your wealth accumulation and making the subsequent amounts easier to reach.
Yeah, compound thingy. The point is, you put in the same effort, maybe saving 1,000 buff bucks a month, But suddenly, you're hitting milestones faster. It's like I'm still just sitting on the couch watching TV, but money is just showing up in my wallet. The first 20,000 might take you like a year and a half of good behavior, which is a long time for me. But the next 20,000, maybe only 17 months. And then the next, even faster. By the time you get to really big numbers, your money is just spitting out $20,000 chunks like a cash-spewing volcano, without you doing anything but sitting there and enjoying your buff beer.
So, the initial effort is significant, but once you build that base, your money starts to generate more money, reducing the time it takes to reach subsequent financial goals, even with the same personal contributions.
See? You get it, sweetie. It's not some secret club for the super rich, it's just math, and knowing you can tell them to stick it. And here's where it gets even more interesting. I'll show you how this money can protect you from bad situations, even Mr. Sterling Pierce himself.
I'm intrigued, Dad. How does having savings protect you from bad situations?
Well, when you have this walking around money, this 20,000 in the bank, it changes your job. Remember when Mr. Sterling Pierce tried to make me work weekends for free and wear a silly hat that made me look like a giant hot dog? I was trapped. If I said no, I'd lose my job, and then where would the buff burgers come from? Marla would have my hide. I couldn't even afford to take a day off to look for a better job.
You mean you'd have walking away money, as they call it, the financial security to leave a bad job or negotiate better terms because you're not desperate for that immediate paycheck.
Exactly. You're negotiating from strength, Lena, like when you negotiate with Brett for the last donut. If you already have a secret stash of donuts hidden in your sock drawer, you're not nearly as desperate, right? You can even say, "No, Brett, I think I'll just keep my options open for a cream-filled one." And then you're more confident. You ask for that raise you deserve because the worst they can say is no, and you'll be fine. You push back on unreasonable demands, you take on cooler projects, and suddenly, poof, more money, more options. It's like a superpower you hope you never have to use, but just knowing it's there makes you invincible at work.
So it empowers you in your career, allowing you to advocate for yourself and pursue better opportunities, which then helps you build even more wealth, creating a positive feedback loop.
See? You get it, sweetie. It's like having a secret weapon that makes Mr. Sterling Pierce's mean glare just bounce right off you. You start seeing chances everywhere. Your friend from Joe's Tavern, Barney, says he's starting a business making giant cheese-stuffed pretzels. Before, you'd just grunt and order another buff beer. But with 20,000, you could think, hey, maybe I'll throw 5,000 buff bucks at that. Pretzels and buff beer, a winning combo. Or a killer deal pops up on a rundown shack in Dettville that needs some work. Before, you'd just sigh. Now, you can actually think, could be an investment.
It means you have the flexibility to seize opportunities you couldn't before, because you have the capital to invest or the buffer to take a calculated risk.
Exactly. Money goes to money, Lena. It's not some cosmic conspiracy where the universe only gives donuts to the people who already have a pile. It's that having money gives you options, and options create more opportunities to make more money. It's like a never-ending donut cycle.
That's a powerful shift in perspective, Dad.
It sure is. But Lena, here's where most people mess it up. This is the most important part, so listen closer than you do when Marla is talking about doing chores. They hit that 20,000, they feel all confident and rich, and then they go out and blow it on something totally dumb.
Like what, Dad? A lifetime supply of buff beer?
Worse. Much, much worse. Like a brand new car, or a ridiculously expensive vacation to Dettville where everything costs twice as much. They think, I earned this, I deserve this shiny new thing. But that 20,000, it's not for blowing. It's the foundation. It's the first brick in your mansion of wealth. You don't build a mansion by eating the first brick, do you? No, that's just silly.
No, that would be illogical. You need the foundation to build upon. So, the new car feels like a sign of wealth and success, but it's actually keeping you from true financial independence by draining your resources.
You got it, sweetie. People spend more money on their cars over their lives than it would take to be totally free financially. Think about that. All those car payments, insurance, gas for a thing that loses money the moment you drive it off the lot. It's like buying a giant fancy hole that eats your money and then expects you to fill it back up. The average person is dropping like 6, 7, 800 buff bucks a month on their car. That's like 400,000 buff bucks over a lifetime. And they wonder why they can't save for retirement. It's like buying a gym membership you never use, then complaining you can't afford a single carrot stick.
So, you're saying a major purchase like a new car represents a significant opportunity cost. That money could be invested and grow substantially over time.
Exactly. That 30,000 buff buck car isn't just 30,000. It's 30,000 that could have grown to over 200,000 in your investment account over 20 years. Suddenly, driving a reliable used car like my trusty Buffmobile doesn't feel like a sacrifice anymore. It feels like a smart move that's funding your future freedom and more buff beer money. And here's the beautiful irony, Lena. The person driving the flashy new car is probably stressed about money, while the person driving the older, sensible car is quietly building wealth and sleeping better at night, dreaming of future donuts. It's an illusion, Lena. An expensive, debt-filled illusion.
That's a crucial point, Dad. Prioritizing long-term financial growth over immediate gratification, especially for large expenses.
So Lena, this 20,000 bucks isn't gonna make you rich overnight, no siree. You won't wake up tomorrow and suddenly own Savingsdale. But it will fundamentally change how you think about money, how your brain works, how you see opportunities, and how you deal with scary bosses like Mr. Sterling Pierce. It's the difference between just getting by, like a lonely donut in a box, and actually designing your life, like building your own perfect Quick and Save for unlimited donuts.
So, it's about creating options and freedom, not just having a big bank account balance. It's about setting a foundation for future prosperity.
Precisely. It's the start of your financial superpower. So what do you think? Is it worth pushing that first boulder, even if it's super hard and makes your arms hurt like mine do after carrying groceries for Marla?
It sounds like a logical and necessary first step, Dad, one that provides both psychological and practical advantages.
Atta girl. Now I bet most people in Savingsdale are just like me, thinking they need a million bucks to feel secure, or at least enough to fill Joe's Tavern with buff beer. Are you one of them, or are you ready to start building that first 20,000 foundation for your future? Let us know in the comments. And make sure to hit that like button if you want to hear more of my super smart money tips next time about why unlimited Quick and Save hot dogs are a sound investment.